I didn't know what else to do. It said take a thumbnail and the shit was pointed at me. Now it's time to say goodbye. Not permanently, per se, I guess. Maybe. I'm not deleting anything. Hold on a second. Let me get a camera stand. It's way over there. Oh, it's been a long day. Oh, look. You're talking to the hand. Or I'm talking to the hand. So, the channel that you're on here right now is about to get renamed to Easy Reefers. Okay? And the reason why is because I need to make fucking money. Okay? Now, if I need to get on my soapbox and preachificate, as I tend to do from time to time, I'm going to be doing that on Sean Morris channel. You know? Because that channel isn't monetized, and that crap doesn't get that crap gets demonetized anyways. You see how that works? If it's going to get demonetized anyways, might as well be on the channel that isn't monetized, right? And I'm going to be doing, well, continuing with the aquarium live streams and showing real-time experience of what it can be like in certain disaster situations in the fish hobby, especially in the reef keeping hobby. So, welcome everybody to the Easy Reefers channel. And we are going to be your YouTube emergency room for help with sick fish, poor tank conditions. I am I'm like the Eric the Car guy of aquariums, as long as they got salt in them. I am not a freshwater guy who recently got a saltwater fish tank or got a saltwater fish tank around the time YouTube was made. I got my first saltwater fish tank when I was 7 years old, possibly 6, but I'm going to go ahead and say 7. I know I turned 7 in this house that I lived in. And I had a 10-gallon saltwater aquarium after helping my dad build a 6-foot long by 1 foot by 1 foot tank for the back of the dining room that didn't perform very well. Wasn't very easy to provide flow to it, obviously, but it was an 80s type idea. Okay, that's all I can say about it. And then that got moved into his bedroom, the master bedroom, and we built a cube. We built a 60-gallon cube that was about I want to say like 30 by 25 by 25. And I can only estimate 60 gallons. We had 10-gallon sump, glass plating in it, and we're talking 1987, 88-ish. Wow. And I have been the proud caretaker of many, many tiny, shitty reef tanks for 30 years. And, well, if you can have a YouTube channel called The Inappropriate Reefer and that can kind of go one way and then just kind of subdue itself. I think the reefing community can handle my obnoxiousness, and it's certain to say that they'll appreciate my contributions, because well, people got jobs and shit, and they don't have the time to just sit and watch their fish like I do. Because I'm crippled, so I got the time, and well, I uh, I lived in 3 countries, went to 19 different schools, switched schools 21 different times. Okay,
I have one of those. I'm getting frustrated.
you getting frustrated?
YouTube is frustrating.
Did you change it?
Ah.
Oh, it was the URL thing? You already
Yes.
changed the channel name, right?
Yes, the channel name has been
Okay.
changed. The URL is pissing me the fuck off.
Yeah. What was I saying? I got chat enabled. Let's see. Anybody chatting? Oh, I don't know what I just did. Okay. Apparently it'll just pop up.
Somebody say something so we can see how this works. And sorry, you're only seeing like from my nose up. I'm gonna show you.
She stole my cigarette.
I'm
Okay.
fixing the channel.
But anyways, what I'm going to be doing here is making myself available to the reefing community, both on YouTube and on Facebook. We're going to be posting daily updates as we combat the current outbreaks that we've gotten from multiple suppliers,
Various sources.
various sources. And I'm going to make myself available for any kinds of questions, any kinds of aquatic emergencies, okay? I'm basically versed in freshwater fish care and treatment. I know how to treat sick freshwater fish. I just don't know the names of a whole lot of them, like a freshwater fish guy would, you know. Just like I'm not really that big into coral compared to the modern people that have corals. I've been out of the hobby longer than most people have been in the hobby. You know, there's been years where I didn't keep fish tanks, and during these past few years until I got this set up right here, the hobby has really, really gotten rolling, and it is an exciting, wonderful time to experience what it's like to own a fish tank for around the same cost that it would take to responsibly own a dog or a cat or any other pet. And you can have a variety of corals growing in your home, and it's
Ah, sorry.
what are you doing? What are you doing?
But there's chat and we're not seeing the chat.
You're not seeing the chat?
I'm seeing the chat on my phone, but you're not seeing
Well, what's
the
up,
chat.
Salty Shaker?
So I was trying to figure out if that little window right button thing right there was the button to make the chat appear so you could see it.
Yeah, long story short, I'm tired of dealing with the legions, and there was already a book about this war, and we all know how it ends. So I'm just going to relax for a while.
I bet that's what it is.
All of the videos that prove things about me, about what's happened over the past few years, and how I revolve around it, it revolves around me, etc. That's all going to be made available on the Lost Begotten Facebook page. Hopefully one day on a website, indexable or indexed. Um, but I think it's valuable to posterity to have those things time stamped where they are when they were put there. And as for the events of 2011, they're on the Sean Morris channel anyway. There's not going to be any change to that. And as for the rest of this conversation, it's going to continue there. So if you want to know about the kooky side of me, go to that channel. From now on, I'm not going to bore you with any of that on this channel. Anyways.
Apparently everybody uses 2 different devices to be able to chat and to live stream.
I saw it show up the first day when Salty Shaker said the quality looks great. And then the quality went to shit. But anyways, so aside from the fact that I's from the hood, son, and I can't watch my tongue because it's inside my mouth and I don't bend that way. Yep, gonna be a lot of changes on the channel.
We'll also be starting
Now,
a page on Facebook for the Easy Reapers channel
yeah, go ahead.
as well.
Do that actually before
do
it
it
gets
now.
played. Yeah, do it quickly. So, I'll still be smoking cigarettes. I'll still be drinking coffee. We're still going to be relaxing and chatting and having a good time and hanging out. Why? Because that is very relevant to the reefing hobby. In fact, have a glass of wine, roll a joint, whatever you do in the state where you were allowed to do it, or whatever state of mind you happen to be in. Because we here, looking forward to all the new content will come with the new change. Gonna head off to bed. It's pretty late. Take care. See, I saw his chat. I guess it just pops up for a second. If I'm not looking right at the screen, I'll miss it. Okay. Well, this is now the Easy Reefers Emergency Room Studio of Science.
We'll have to do something about that tomorrow.
Yeah.
So, next few days. Spruce it up a bit.
Slogan to be addendum. Yeah, let's just make that into a verb. Yeah,
Like
statementized. Oh, that shit gets me every time. So, I am not sponsored by Seachem. Wouldn't mind being sponsored by Seachem. I've been using Seachem products for about 10 years now. Good stuff. Reliable quality. Most of it, you don't have to remember to shake it. Which I think, says a good bit about the quality. It's properly dissolved chemicals. If you're new to the channel, you're looking at about 140 gallons worth of salt water right here. Okay, we got a 20 gallon long, 20 gallon long, 24 gallon tub, 55 gallon, 10 gallon, 10 gallon, 10 gallon. Did I miss anything? That's just this room. We have a 29 gallon sitting right there, which I don't know if we're going to be doing anything but maybe putting a few inches of water in the bottom and growing some mangroves in it. And that's sitting on the excuse me, bar over here. I think personally that this would be a lovely place to have some mangroves growing. The problem is that shelf right there ain't the sturdiest thing in the world. But, the whole idea of having only a few inches of water in the tank is my feeble-minded attempt at addressing that problem. So, what we're going to be doing here is squats and, what are you doing over there?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm doing the Facebook page.
Okay. Something got you when you loaded?
No, what you said
Oh.
about that bar not being totally stable.
Yeah.
I busted out laughing because our entire house is not totally stable.
Yeah. Well,
So
neither are we.
It just cracked me up. It's the funniest shit I've heard all day today.
But anyways,
Sorry.
what we're going to be doing on the channel is showing you how to save sick fish that you got from the store, hopefully at a discount price. We're going to encourage you to go to Petco and find the skinny fish, find the fish with ick already, and try to get it for $10 and take it home and save its life before somebody just forgets about it, or God forbid somebody actually pays retail price for it not knowing what they're buying. Okay? What you can do if you keep watching this channel is avoid the headaches that most people have when they get into the saltwater fish hobby. Because I have had all the headaches. Okay? And I'm not talking about the headaches that come with expensive setups. I'm talking about the headaches that come with being a budget reefer. Alright? What I use here are Current USA lights and wave makers. I've been using Fluval C, CP2s and CP3s, CP3POs and R2D2s, and kind of getting tired of those. I'm going to, from this point, be recommending the further investment. As I was saying to Mr. Salty Shaker just the other day, what you want to do when you're first setting up a reef tank is settle for a Fluval C. Just for a little while. I don't have one sitting around. I have a lot of different filters and shit sitting around me right now. Or throw a big Aquaclear on it, because they'll come in handy later. Or of course, your small tanks, you have your Rio Nano skimmers, right? Just a big power head pointed up across the surface, doing full circulation on a properly set up live rockscape. Going to be all you need until you can put away $10 a week towards a real wave maker setup. Now you have your Corallias, you have your Vortex, and you have your Jabayos, or however that's pronounced. But the mid-price option, assembled at least, I'm not sure if all their components are made in USA, but they call themselves Current USA. One would think they've got a bunch of stuff that's made in USA, but you never know. I'm satisfied overall with the quality of their stuff, but I'm very impressed with the performance of it, and hoping to share the experience of what corals it can grow long term. There's a lot of YouTube channels that you can find that, well, you find short segments of stories. You find limited results. You find anecdotal evidence, and you find, well, inconclusive outcomes. I want to give people as much data as they can on this channel. If you go and look, we have videos a couple years old now at this point of the first maroon and accelerus clownfish I introduced from local suppliers. We got Bubbles and Zoom, and it's just all been downhill from there. My two breeding pairs, my breeding Paraperculus, okay, they came from my former reefing mentor, store owner, Rick. I remember his last name. I'm not sure if I want to say it, but Rick's Reef Rick. Okay. And he's kind of a legendary old fogey in the Louisiana saltwater community. Well, I used to help him take care of his shop, and I went down there right when he was closing up, and I got a whole bunch of corals from him. And I told him I need a pair of Truperculus. There's a little baby Stomatella on the glass right there. Tiny, tiny baby. So cute. And, you know, I just wanted the Perculus. But he was about to close down. He said, "You got to come back." And I did. And I got all that damn coral. And we've been trying to get my system converted from a brood stock and grow out system to a coral reef and show tank system. Because, well, breeding clownfish in a living room is hard. Breeding Truperculus is even harder. And many hair algae outbreaks and a lot of brown stuff siphoned out of the sand bed later. And got a nice stable system going here. And I'm looking forward to possibly getting some more parent colonies to start. And we're going to be taking a winding road, shall we say, to a business loan and opening up a store. And I'm going to be breeding more fish at that point with the methods that we tried and tested on here. And hopefully not too many of the videos that I was presenting that information on involved the political stuff that I used to speak about on the formerly named channel. Now, it is going to be a hot minute before I get around to sifting all the videos and switching stuff and hot linking everything, so please be patient with that. But let's just say this is a very strategic move in many ways on my part. One of which is a matter of ensuring that something is unfair. You know? You just gotta make sure something's unfair. I think the appropriate people know what I mean there. I'm not gonna say anymore. But I will say that it's been a long, 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 hard struggle for trying to get this channel to perform the way one would think a channel with the level of content I have provided would do. So, what I'm gonna do is make it purely business. Because if I make it purely business, and they still want to make it personal, then I have a legalistic argument by their own laws, by their own principles of karma, should I say. And well, I can do a lot with that. So anyways, we have many pairs of brute stock here at the Easy Reefers Fish Laboratory. One of which is just getting acquainted here, and you can see them on other videos. And they're sleeping pretty close. But we'll see if my is a little nicer to his, to this little cute bastard. Leo, we've named him. Our Davincia Celeris. But anyways, he came in with a little bit of frayed fin. Oh, sorry. Just trying to cover the crap behind me. It's a bag of stuff. Oh, cigarettes. How about that? Okay. Trying not to be too tacky here. Just a little tacky. But he came in with frayed fins, and his pectorals. It's always a warning sign. If you have a fish that's, the pectoral fins, which are on the bottom, kind of two of them like this, right? I can't show you the other one because I'm holding the camera. If they're held to the fish's body, chances are they've had some kind of bacterial infection, okay? And it's very important to get that fish medicated quickly. You want to at least have it around a salinity of a 1.9, a 1.7, but you could drop it down to a 1.4 and you'd be doing it a favor. And that's 1.01 for you. It's too many words. I don't have time for that. But anyways, very, very bad sign when the fish comes in holding its little fins close to its chest. If you see that, look at the breathing. It's got rapid breathing. It's got parasites in its gills, probably in its stomach as well, that have weakened its immune system. Okay? And then little sea lice can just come and nibble at just little copepods that float around in the water can come and nibble at their fins, and it gets infected and starts the bacteria from that infection just starts eating away at their fins. And then with clownfish, it's particularly invasive, I guess, because clownfish are grown in grow out tanks. In those grow out tanks, they're basically constantly fighting and nipping at each other's fins. So you get a little bit of disease in there. And it can really, really start to take its toll. And this clownfish, for instance, here at Leo, was delayed because they had some losses up there at saltwaterfish.com. And you know, they're aware of my setup. They're aware that I'm a clownfish breeder, and I told them I was looking for a male. And you know, it's all right that they sent me a sick fish. I'd rather them send me a sick fish than somebody else. Send me a sick fish, I'll save it. But anyways, so tonight, earlier, posted a video. Found one big old white spot on him. And boy, I've never seen a white spot look so big because he's such a tiny little fish. So, they're now in a half a dose of formalin and a half a dose, or actually a full dose of Paragard. I've seen pretty good results mixing those two together, basically just adding more malachite green plus the quote-unquote fish polymers that Seachem has added to their Paragard, right? Coffee. I mean, Dr. Pepper here. I finish my Dr. Pepper before I go have some coffee. It's important shit. Alright. But yeah, so your Paragard. What's wrong with the camera?
I just turned off my Wi-Fi to see if it worked.
So the formalin that you get is usually mixed with malachite green, so that's why I thought it would be safe to mix it with Paracard, which is basically a malachite green plus polymers.
I'm not moving it because I turned off my Wi-Fi.
Okay, I'm just smiling that you got it. I have no idea what's going on here. I'm pretty sure I just fucked it up.